I want to explain to you my state of mind and how I'm entering in 2022. I'm not entering, and I just not discovered this. I've been in this state of mind for a long time, but it's the reason why I am how I am, and I have the state of mind of freedom. I'm a free person. I am not part of any groups, any illuminated people trying to save the world, or plants, or this or that, or vegans, or whatever minority group, etc. I'm not part of none of them, because I want to stay free, and I want to have ideas from everybody, and I want to have conversation with everybody, but at the same time I want to be able to push back on any agenda that doesn't go with my vision of the world, which is, you want to be in a society and you want to, of course, live with other people, but at the same time you want to keep your individuality. And I believe that right now in the internet, most people, I think they don't have no idea of what they're here to do. So they end up just finding a guru, finding somebody that is the person that says whatever they wanna hear, and then they just learn whatever that person says, and they just repeat that without thinking. And I see this in a lot of YouTube comments, or a lot of people talking about politics, a lot of people talking about the cause for whatever group they represent, and you can see it, read it, or listen and hear it when they talk, when they do interviews, or when they are yelling to other people. You can see that they don't even know what they're talking about. They're just in love with something somebody told them. And a lot of times when somebody change their mind, they feel betrayed because they don't understand something. Most people can change their mind on a subject for whatever reason. Something can happen in their life, or any piece of information can happen, or maybe the person that those people were believing in do something that make them stop believing in that message, and they just change their mind, because it's called evolution. We all evolve. And because the fact that all these people are just obsessed with the message of a person, the points, you can hear like groups of people bullying others with whatever they think is the right thing. And then you have most of these people, if you are trying to have conversations with them, they are either ignorant or aggressive, or you'd realize that they don't on your level and they don't know what they're talking about. I chose to be free from all these people, and I chose to be free from, even in music. I arrived in the game of music, and the first thing people asked me when I did my first album was, where are you from in the French West Indies? And I was like, I'm not from the West Indies. Yeah, but you have a Zouk album. Yeah, and yeah, like, you should be from Martinique or Guadeloupe, maybe Guyane. And I was like, I lived in all three. I spent a year in Guyane. I spent a lot of time in both islands. I understand Creole, etc., etc. But I'm not from either. Yeah, but you do Zouk. I was like, yeah, and I was like, listen, out there in Guadeloupe or Martinique, there are rappers. And rap is not from the US. Rap is not from the West Indies, it's from the US. So why can I not be from Congo and do some Zouk and some this and some that? And Afro Zouk have existed way before me. Oliver Ngoma, Monique Seka, they were doing music before me. So, but it's because people like to tribe themselves. People like to flock in little tribes and protect their tribes. And they don't understand when they meet people like me who are free. I'm a person, I like to be free to try stuff and to do what I want to do in my music and in anything actually. And you get met with people who are trying to put you in boxes. So I remember when my first album came out in '98, I wanted to have a few albums in the R&B section, a little bit on the hip hop section, a little bit on the world music section. But everything was on the world music section. It was frustrating for me because I was like, I'm not doing world music. I'm doing music from the world, but I didn't even like the definition. And every time people would ask me to define my music, I didn't like it because I felt that defining my music would remove my freedom of being who I want. Like if I defined I'm a Zouk artist, then I couldn't have released On Dit Quoi because that was not Zouk music. Or I couldn't have released Raquel because it's more Kizomba. Or I couldn't have done house music under another name, etc., etc. But everybody was always asking me to define my music. And I was replying to them, freedom. But it took a lot of time for me to realize that the freedom was more than that. That to reach the freedom that I wanted, I would have to reach financial freedom as well. I would have to reach freedom from the radio station, the TV stations, and the people who pay you to go perform in a club, because all of them would hire you under certain conditions. They would ask you to sing a certain way, or to dress a certain way, or to be a certain way, Where to me, I was like, I want to be able to do what I want to do. Like, I understand there's a point you have to be coherent, understand it, because I'm a businessman. But at the same time, as an artist, you want to be free. You want to be free to go from this to that, and to try stuff, and to propose stuff, and to receive a positive outcome from your proposition, or a negative one. You know, you want to be able to try stuff. And 20 years ago, it was already hard, but today it's even harder because people want you to be part of groups. And then when you are in the groups, they don't want you to say nothing else that the group doesn't accept. So you kind of lose. O que foi, minha mãe? Onde? Papi quase acabou, ok? Já vou no sofá. Ok, minha mãe? Ok, bom xixi. Yeah, this one, in a bit, she will want to be in my arms to fall asleep. So we have 10 minutes, even 5 maybe. So, you know, that's true, David. And you're a free man, so you know all about it. I'm still waiting for you to be part of this show. O que foi, meu amor? Hã? Tá com medo de quê?
Mostro.
Não tem moço na casa de banho. Pode ir.
Não.
Liga a luz.
Já liguei.
Então vá, papi tá aqui. Papi tá perto de ti. Deixa a porta aberta. Vou te ver daqui. Vai fazer xixi. Vá com o iPad para fazer barulho. O monstro vai ter medo. So, who told you heard it? Monster in the toilets. The only monsters there are pieces of... Oh, não, tá carregado. Pode ir. So, for me, I was with this thing. Happy New Year, Backstock. What up? Exactly. Always stay real and true to yourself. So, I really understood a long time ago that the only way to really be free is to have financial freedom. Because there's been a lot of times where I was trying to be indirect with the people who like my work, and I had to go through hoops of people that didn't like me, or didn't want me to succeed, or didn't want me to have that much power. Or I had a lot of great ideas for the industry, But a lot of people didn't want to give me the power to execute my ideas because it would make me too powerful. And for them, the fate of the industry, of our genre, whatever, it was less important than me not being there. So at a point I realized, you know what, guys, I'm gonna be completely independent from everybody. So in 2012, I decided to be independent from artists, because artists are impossible to control for people like me. They're too emotional. I'm too rational. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to work with artists completely differently. Then I started understanding that as with the advent of streaming, I could actually free myself from the world of radios. With YouTube, I could free myself from televisions. And then all I had to do in all these different platforms that don't belong to me, but still are enough where it's just the platform and me, and the platforms need content. And as long as your content is not controversial, you can use those platforms and earn money with them. So I realized that if I could have a YouTube channel that generates revenue, a distribution that generates revenue on Spotify, Apple Music, all these places, and maybe a few shows that I would control myself, and maybe other things like investing in crypto, NFTs, all these things that I'm doing now for the future, I would actually be able to be free. And so that was 2008, more or less. I was still living in France. And today in 2022, so 14 years later, I'm entering this year free, financially able to never do a show if I want. And at the same time, still doing shows, being able to multiply my price by 10, being able to release the music that I want, decide that I want to do a 50 songs album, and every artist telling me, are you crazy? And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't care about your opinions. You all are crazy anyway. You don't even know what you're doing. Let me do me. I'm able to create something because I really understood. The real freedom is understanding that all you need is your followers. All you need is them. As long as you have the people who come back to you every day, come back to your songs, come back to your content, you are good. Everybody else is actually not really important, because everybody else are just people that you will meet along the way. Some will help you, some will give you good ideas, but most of them will make you lose your time. And the goal is always to be free. And a lot of people, they lose this along the way. A lot of people, they completely forget about the goal in the beginning. Why? Because fame, girls or guys, money, vanity, a lot of people, they just forget what they came here for in the beginning. And you know, when I did my first album, I was just a guy trying to make music and trying to express myself and trying to prove to my parents that I could make it in music. And after the success of my first album, selling 100,000 copies, after being blackballed and etc., was amazing for me. But then when my second album came out and it was a failure, I got depressed because, I was like, oh my God, I thought they loved me. They don't. I thought they love my music. No, they don't. Like, they want me to do zouk. Like, this is not just me. They already put me in a box. Oh my God, it's horrible. Then I took the time to understand business. I took the time to understand people. I took the time to talk to people too. Why didn't you like this one? Explain to me, like, and try to understand what happened, etc., etc. And then I moved. I went to Belgium, met the mother of my son, stayed with her in her house for a long time. Then we took a place. I think now we took a place after, but so we stayed together around 2001 or 2002. I think we took a place after we had our son. But before that, I was in her house all the time, or I was traveling when I had shows. And then I took the time to become Angel City 2. So Angel City 2 is everything you've been listening. So this is the platform. So this is Club Shada Hip Hop. So for those who want it, let me put the link in the chat. So when I became Angel City, I started doing music back to just making music for me. And when I started making music just for me, I went back to being free. I went back to making music not to sell it. And I was selling it on mp3.com. I was just selling it, but I was not known anymore. And I was freed from fame. And then it took me back to being free, because there's a lot of pressure from surviving a hit. Once you did a hit, everybody's waiting for you to do the next hit. The people who invested in you are waiting for you to make them more money. The fans, they wait for you to do another hit that sounds like the one before. So if you want to do something else, they're like, nah. We want the kizomba, or we want the zouk, or we want this, or we want like, and you're like, I want to try stuff. So I took the time to free myself from them as well, the fans. Then I took the time to free myself from the radios, etc., etc. So when I came back in 2003 with It's All Love, not only I understood what people want, so I also freed myself from not wanting to do what people want. I was like, you know what? I understand how we make money. You guys want this type of zouk? There it is. You want this type of rap? There it is. You want this, and there it is. And now, starting track 10 in the album, let me try stuff for me. And now everybody's happy. And then once this album was successful, the one after was successful, the one after as well, I start telling myself, it's time to free myself from shows. It's time to free myself from having to pay my rent from shows. Because the worst thing is having to pay your rent from shows, because when you don't have shows and you cannot pay your rent, then you have to accept anything from anybody. And the people who say, oh, listen, I only have 400 for you because you don't have hits, blah, 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 blah. You have to accept it because you need to eat. So that's why after buying back my masters and having myself a bunch of masters, I actually have 1,000. I just passed 1,000 releases on my distribution. So I generate enough money today to pay my whole rent of the year in maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe in 2 months. And maybe in a month and a half, I can pay my whole rent of the year. These give me the freedom to not only invest the rest of the money in different projects, crypto, stock, NFTs, and also to make music for me again. Freedom. So the whole time I've been looking for and working on and buying back my freedom, because it's so easy getting caught on. Listen, you're an ugly person, you're an ugly guy, and all of a sudden you have a hit. All of a sudden you can have nice girls because you're famous, and then now you have a reason to do hits. That's pressure. This is loss of freedom, because now you're trying to keep getting the nice girls, and if you don't have a hit for more than 2 years, you will go back to being ugly. So now you obsessed with the hits, and now you're in a prison. So a lot of people, they get caught up in that. Some people, they listen, they like, a lot of people, they don't know what fame is. When you get famous, listen, some people, they get 500 likes on a photo on Instagram, and all of a sudden they micro famous, and now they will do anything to have another 500 likes on a photo, because that's the dopamine hit. It's like drugs. So now you do another photo and you only get 30 likes, you get disappointed. So now you're gonna try, and now you're gonna do crazy stuff just to get the likes, just to get the comments. And everybody, it used to be just us artists or people on TV, etc. But now it's everybody in the world. Young girls that have a TikTok, if one day they have 1,000 likes on their TikTok, if the next video only have 30 likes, they get depressed. And everybody is actually getting eaten alive by social media, by all these platforms, all these data mongering platforms. And I really understood one day that as a creator and as a person who just wants to be happy, that the thing we need the most after health is freedom. Because once we free ourselves from all these things that we can't really control, we get back to doing what we love, which is whatever. You like to cook, you like to paint, you like to... Once you're back to being free, it's the best feeling ever. And as I was finishing the album, and I was listening to it, I was jogging this morning, and I played my whole album in my AirPods. And this is what I felt when I was listening to it. Not only was I happy about the quality, a few songs I stopped running to dance in the middle of the waterfront. It was just there, like, oh, twerk, twerk, twerk. And I was saying to myself, wow, like, I'm free. Like, I did it, I'm free. I'm free from judgment, I'm free from this, I'm free from that. Like, people will judge, people will say whatever they want to say, but I will not, I don't care. I arrived to that level, and it's beautiful. And I really wish it for everybody to get there, to get to that level where, yeah, listen, you don't care. Like, you know, when you are a public person, there's so many things that you should not care about that you care about. People look at you, people judge your physique, or do you get fat, do you get skinny, that like, and people, they go online just to judge people. And we all get at a point caught up in that and stuck in people's thanks back, Ali. We get there in a point where we are just obsessed with other people's opinion, and we kind of forget that they don't pay our rent. And once you understand that, you go back to the simple values of life. Like, who do you respect? Who do you value their opinion? Okay, those are the ones that matter. Like, if my mom tells me I don't like this song, this has value to me. If somebody that has been listening to my music for 20 years tells me, oh, I don't like that song, or on this one you went the easy route, K, I would be like, okay, you know, I would feel it. But if somebody that I never heard of comes out of nowhere and say, oh, what you do is shit, why would I care? Why would I care? I don't care. And it doesn't mean that you have to not care about the opinion of strangers, but then you have to know how to, you have to learn to make the difference between somebody that their opinion is important, and sometimes it's the way they will tell you. I like your song or I don't like your song. Like some people will say respectfully because you know that they respect you, and some others come from nowhere and they say, oh, I don't want to tell you what to do, but you should not have your kid awake at 2 a.m. or and listening to the iPad. Well, yeah, it's my kid, you know, and some people, it will come from a good intention, and this is what you have to detect from people. What is the intention? Some people, they just want to put a comment. Some people, they just want to put a comment to put a comment because they believe that their mission in life is to put comments on videos or on your life. And you know, we in this world where a lot of people want to treat celebrities like they're not humans, and they want to talk about the lives of Will Smith, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, etc., like if they have an interest in their lives, forgetting that, listen, they are humans, they have feelings, they fail, they are good, they're bad, sometimes they do shit, sometimes like all of us. And when you are on the other side as a celebrity, you have all these people telling you, yeah, we can talk about your life because you famous. It comes with the territory. Like, and all this is loss of freedom because you're gonna have people, because they are seen like the couple, they are seen like, oh my God, it's the last of them. Couple goals, like all these hashtags that people get pressured on, and maybe people don't love themselves anymore. Like people, maybe they don't love each other anymore. Maybe it's been a year that they're like, I think it's time to end this relationship. Like we don't have nothing to do together or whatever. But just because of public perception, because of what people will say, because of oh my God, you are my couple, it prevents them from moving on to the next phase of their life. And this is really something that a lot of people suffer from. And when they finally decide to end their relationship, everybody's on them. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody has a reason. Everybody's thinking that it's a novella that they're watching or it's entertainment. When actually it's real life. It's real life with maybe kids sometimes and depression and whatever they go through. And then the response that people will have is, you are rich or you famous. You like, yeah. Why should we complain for you? When you're like, yo, it's like, you famous, but you're still a human being. And listen, I remember, I think we were on stage and there was this girl that kept putting her arms around another guy who was singing, and she was like, please stop doing this. I need to do my dances. I need to. And at a point, he just poof with her foot in her face, and that was super funny. It's not, nowadays you can say this, but that was super funny. But then, of course, she was pissed, etc. But then she was like, hey, listen, I'm a human being and I'm trying to do my show and I'm trying to have fun on stage, and I can't if you don't let my boots. So boot on your face. And of course, we were super young. It was like 20 years ago. It's still funny to tell. Sorry, that's funny to me, Emily. But it's this thing where sometimes you hear and people feel that they own you because of whatever part you play in their life. And that's a beautiful thing in a way. But on another way, you also have to tell them, you don't own me. I am my own person. And, you have no idea the number of conversation I have with people telling me, yo, okay, you need a new hit, you need a song, like you need to come back in the market and show all these people who you are, and then we can do a tour in Africa. And I'm like, why am I having this conversation? Like, I did all this in 90s. Listen, my first tour, I was 92. My first tour as a professional, I would say it was 96. I was 22. Then my first tour as myself was 98. And then I've been all around the world. I've been to more than 100 countries. I speak so many languages, and I've been with so many people, sat down and had a tea with so many people from so many different cultures, with so many languages, from East Europe to West to South Africa to North Africa to everywhere. Still a lot of places to visit, but I've been in enough places, and my music has played in enough places that, you really feel like, yeah, this is amazing. But once you reach 47, and in 20 days, I'll be 48. I don't see myself on stage at 60. I want to do other things. I want to do movies. I want to do this. I want to invest in places, in stock. I want my investment in stock and in crypto to explode, so I can maybe say I'm done touring. Because I want to make space for something else. I want to be free from this. And sometimes people are scared to not be famous anymore because they're scared of the comments of people. They're scared of people telling them, ha ha ha, you're not famous anymore, you don't perform anymore, or whatever. And sometimes I tell people, like, why do you think I need a new hit? Now, so you can go do shows. And I'm like, I make more money today from my YouTube channel, just my YouTube channel. I make more money than when I was touring 3 times a day. I mean, maybe not that much. In the beginning, back in the days. But I make enough money with my YouTube channel to pay my rent and food and just chill. And I make way more money than when I was performing every month, 2-3 times a week. I make way more money today just from the freedom I gain from all my passive income. So why do you think I would need, or I would want to go out there and go sing in places where I don't need to? And the pandemic showed me that I made the right choice, because while everybody's suffering because they cannot do shows when everything is closed, I make money just by being here talking to you guys. And listen, I didn't even start putting logos here. I'm still sponsoring myself. But one day there will be people putting their logos here, and I will have an assistant. That's their only job, to find people who are willing to pay to stay here for 2 hours. But just now, like I'm already like free. Imagine if I triple my revenue. Let's say I make 40,000 a month. You think I will want to go perform? It's not a question of money. It's a question of the thirst. At a point, you clench the thirst. At a point, you've drank enough and you don't need to drink anymore. At a point, you want to make space in your life for the next thing. You want to make space in your life for the next person, or you want to make space in your life for the next idea. But if you let people fool you into thinking that, this is what you do, this is who you are the guy who sings Kaysha on the choir, you are the guy who sings One Love, you are the singer, then you remember, like, first episode of Club Shada, first ever episode, there was somebody in the chat saying, yeah, when are you singing? And I was like, I'm not here to sing. I'm here to talk. I'm here to create something new. That was 2 years ago. Now we're at episode 169. And those people are the people who are against your freedom. They are against your freedom to be somebody else, against your freedom to be the next version of yourself, the next person you want to be. And something I really learned is that this is the thing that you must protect at all costs: your freedom. Your freedom to be who you want to be, your freedom to talk the way you want to talk, not the way whatever activist wants you to talk. Like, there's a lot of people out there in America, they want us to start talking different ways that we've been talking. Listen, I've been talking a certain way for 47 years. And now they want to say, no, this is offensive. Not to me. That's not the intent. They don't care about the intent anymore. It's just the words now. So tomorrow, somebody will invent that saying alien. Like, somebody said that. Somebody invented that saying alien is offensive. You have to call people extraterrestrials, not aliens, because alien, it makes feel like. And I was like, will you guys shut the fuck up? Can somebody stop all these people? Because all these people, they're bored and they invent stuff. They invent concepts just to exist. They exist on outrage. And a lot of people are against your freedom. And this is why I've been advocating, I've been telling people, I've been telling you guys, I've been telling artists, I've been telling producers, when you make money, don't go buy bags, don't go buy cars, don't go buy jewelry, don't go buy all that. Listen, this, you see these, my jewelry, let me find pictures of me in where is it? Let me find pictures of me in 1999. I don't have that. 2000 maybe? 2000? Let me see. Oh, this is okay. This is a picture from 2000. What happened? I click on the picture and it disappeared. Wait a minute. What happened? This 2000. Okay. Show all. What happened? Ah, there it is. Look, this is a picture of me 22 years ago. Taken January 1st in Châtelet-Léal. It's 2000? That's not possible. This is 2010. Anyway, I think this is from 2010. So that's 12 years ago. And look, same jewelry. Let me find something from earlier. Let me find 2002. Do I have anything from 2002? Let me see. 2000. That's not possible. That's a lie. Let me find 2003 when my son was born. There you go. Let me see if I can find my jewelry. Oh, there you go. So this is me, my son, and my ex in 2002. And you see the chain that I have around my neck? Not the small one, the second one. It's here. It's the same one. It's this. I just put it in free, but it's the same chain. I don't buy myself a bunch of jewelry. I don't buy myself a bunch of this, a bunch of that. You know why? I buy freedom. I prefer investing in the future. I prefer investing in creating my masters, buying a microphone, a nicer camera to create content, because I prefer investing in the future. And I prefer investing in my freedom. A lot of people, they want to buy stuff that is expensive because they want to invest. They want to impress people they don't know. They want to impress people they hate, or people that hate them. They do this for them. And this also is a case where you lose your freedom, because you are more interested in what people who don't have your best interest in heart think of you. Listen, if you don't like me and you are watching this video, I don't like you either. I don't care about you. if you don't like me, I don't care that you exist. And you should not care that I exist. If you don't like me, stop watching right now. I don't know what you're doing here. But you know why they're here? Because they want to learn from me. But they cannot say it because they're supposed to hate, but they're like, damn, like, I should have followed him X years ago. But me personally, when people don't like me, I used to care so much about it, and that was me losing my freedom. Today, you don't like me, I realize that it doesn't change nothing. I still have to pay the rent, and you're not gonna help me pay it. So I'd rather focus on the people who help me pay the rent. Like the stream royalty here. All these people here sponsoring. And the money I invested all these years in everything that I did. This is what pays the rent. Not the people who like you, not the people who hate you. I mean, some people like you, don't support you, but most people like you guys, you support, you go on Spotify, listen to music, buy a song, etc. Even just one song. If 1,000 people buy just one song, that's a rent. And it's something that really I've been really like more and more, and especially the last 2 years of pandemic. We are entering the third year of pandemic, and way more than before, I value my freedom, but way more than before. I value the fact that I have my freedom of speech. I know that whatever platform I will use to talk, my people will follow me. That's power. And that's also freedom from the platforms. And I also know that, listen, if for whatever reason people don't have access to all these platforms, I can also create my own and tell people, hey, this is where you find me, and whatever, it's $5 to watch me. And listen, if you want to support, this is the way, whatever. Or I can just do it on buy a place or rent a place where people are invited to come watch me, and I do the same show in front of people. Like, there's so many ways you can do it, but never lose sight of what the prize is. The prize is not being famous. The prize is not like releasing a song or cooking a meal or cake and selling it, whatever. The prize is your freedom, is being able to stay free. And I'm entering this year. I entered this year exactly like that, completely free from all that. And it's a beautiful feeling, I'm telling you. And listen, I wish to all of you for this year that you find your freedom. Or if you don't find your freedom, you find the path to your freedom. When you find it, just follow it and go straight away and do what you have to do to be free. Invest in whatever you do. If you're in fashion, if you have a fashion show like David, who was there, David creates the Black Fashion Week here in Lisbon. And this person, one day, if you have your own fashion house and the place where you can do your own fashion show without having to go negotiate with people, that will be the best thing, because you will be free to do it the way you want. And all these things and ideas, it's important. And on 2022, I will actually focus on people who are going with this state of mind instead of going with the people who are locked in something else. Because those people, they try to bring you in the darkness with them every time you talk to them. And I have this tendency to give light and try to help people, but it's actually a waste of time, a lot of time. And it's time that you allocate on these people that you cannot allocate on elevating yourself to the next level. So I believe that most people that I love, or most people that I care about and I want to see succeed, I give them all the information. If it's not enough for them, they can come to Club Shada and watch all the videos that exist so I can now move on to not feeling the burden of thinking that I have a responsibility for these people, and move on to taking care of my freedom. And I was having a great conversation this morning, not so long, with Nelson Freitas, who's in Guinea right now, celebrating the New Year. He had a show. He was saying, hey, listen, 2022, I'm leaving some people behind. And I was like, yeah, me too. It's time. It's time to check who's following and who has to be left behind. Not because we don't like them, just because we have to move forward. And the people who are just there, not following, not walking fast enough or whatever, listen, they take the next train. It's not your responsibility. You have to be free from those people as well. So the theme of 2022 is freedom. Freedom, baby. And listen, I hope for everybody that you find that thing.